Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you getting into my paycheck to paycheck budget. So I'm closing out paycheck 1 and then I'm going to use the numbers I have left and I'm going to set up paycheck 2 and we're just going to dive into the numbers and see where we're at. Alright, I have my calculator ready and I have my numbers off to the side. Hopefully everything balances out the way it should and I'm looking forward to figuring out what the next paycheck period is going to look like. So right here, right now, I have my actuals that came in, and it looks like $1.26 plus 3 cents. I had $1.29 more than what I planned. I'm pretty close in my numbers, which I think is pretty cool. And so we're just going to total these up. These are my estimates. I always reserve this line item for dividends and change that kind of appear in my account because it's a credit union, so they give us a few pennies every month. And then I do just below what my husband's salary paycheck would be because there is fluctuation with taxes and county taxes especially, so that kind of make it go up and down a little bit. So that is probably the bottom number I would always use for right now, unless his income increases and it changes all over again, so I have to track it. So let's go ahead and look at this. I'm going to total these numbers and come up with a new actual income that came in for the first part of the month, and this is 80% of our income that comes in at the first of the month. Alright, so I had 0 extra balance forward and 0 extra part of the budget that nothing else came in, so there was nothing to add. And so we're looking at a total of $7,057.63. So it just bumped it up just a little bit by this $1.29. It's always a good thing when it can go up a little bit, even if it's just a couple dollars, or even just change. As long as you're ahead, not behind, we're good to go. Alright, so I haven't filled these in. I know they're about to come out. I know they're going to be auto withdrawn, so I'll write it in when it happens. I just had to reset this one up, and then this one kind of happens around paycheck 1 and paycheck 2 right at the same time period. So once it hits, that'll happen as well. So I've already totaled up from my weekly check-in exactly how much we have spent for paycheck 1 in our spending categories. So here we have $310.18 plus the $330.25, and that's $640.43. I have the numbers off to the side, so I'm just going to keep writing the numbers, but this is the one for the first one, which is always grocery household. I do them in the same order so I don't mix up in my head exactly what I'm talking about, so that helps a lot if you can keep it in the same order as you write it, as you do it for your weekly check-in or write it for your paycheck and all the different trackers. So I'm going to go ahead and write these numbers in. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm done. I have all the totals written here, and if I look at all the individual categories, they are less than what I planned, which is always ideal and what you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and total the actual column, even with these numbers not clearing yet. I know they're going to clear. It's a given, and if I have to go back and make an adjustment, I will, but it's an auto draft, so it's not going to change. It's when it's a utility or something that went up in price or whatever, that's going to change. I've already gotten the emails on these, so we're good to go. So let's go ahead and total up the actual column here. Alright, it looks like our total number is a little bit higher, about $10, and that had to do with the water bill. That was because the date range or the number of days, I think it was like 35 days or something instead of a 28-day or 30-day period. It just brought it up $10. So this new system is kind of aggravating, but it averages out the same. So it's $5,013.05. If my budget wasn't so tight, I would do like $50 or something like that, like I used to for water. But things are kind of tight, and weather's changing and stuff like that. Though the electric, I hope, is less than what we planned with the air conditioner not kicking on. We have not used the heat at all. There were some nights it felt cold enough we could, but we just added blankets and we were good. We had some 40-degree nights, so it was kind of chilly, but not too cold, and we did okay. But we're going to get into that season where we're going to need a little extra heat. My propane tank's good. I won't need to fill up right away this fall, so that's good. I won't have to use that sinking fund, but the electricity might change and go back up. But I'm hoping for this month it's down low. Not this month, but next month it's going to hopefully be lower than normal. Let's see, next I have is our expenses. So those are kind of our fixed bills. I still do a budget and actual because there is a little fluctuation just in case something changes, and I hate crossing out stuff, so I make 2 columns. Now we're going to do budget and actual for our variable expenses. So that is here, and what I'm going to do is total up the actuals for this column, and we're going to figure out what we have left here. All right, we have $921.51, which is really low for 2 weeks for us, but I think that's pretty good. $921.51. There we go. So I have that written down. Now we're just going to use all the actual columns to come up with our actual balance forward that is basically saying this is what's sitting in the checking account the night before my new paycheck hits. This is to the penny, and then the new paycheck hits, and then we're off again to cover the bills and expenses for the last half of the month, because our month only has 2 paycheck periods, and our first of the month actually starts at the end of the previous month. So the end of September on the 30th, I believe, is when my husband will get paid, and that's considered the first of the new month. Hopefully it's not confusing to you, but that's just kind of how our money runs. 80% of our income comes at the beginning of the month, whether it's on the last day of the previous month or the first of the new month, and all the money hits all at once. So let's go ahead and do the math. We have $7,057.63 minus the $5,013.05 and minus the $921.51. So we're going to have a lot more than what we planned to go or estimated to balance forward, and that is good news, and it will cover everything for the new paycheck period. So we have $1,123.07 as our balance forward, and I like that, just knowing what's going to happen the night before the new paycheck hits, and boom, there's the money. Okay, here's the new paycheck period. I have already written balance forward, and that number I'm just going to write again, $1,123.07. I do not plan to be bringing any money from savings over, and I do not plan to be, adding to the income here. So let's go ahead and just start with the salary. I do have the pending deposit on that. I do know exactly to the penny how much that's going to be. So we're going to go ahead and write that down. Normally, if I don't know, it's $1,735, and it's a few dollars higher than that. So it's $1,737.08. So even a touch higher than previously, and that's fine. I'm going to put 0 for other because I have no plans. If something happens and I can put extra in, or we do need to put extra in, that's where I would put it. All right, so we have this number already. We're going to add the $1,737.08, giving us $2,860.15. All right. That is what we have left to work until the end of the month, or the 29th of the month. That includes our spending categories, and that includes all bills here. Now let's go ahead and do the budget. I'm going to move this out of the way for a second and bring this here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the expenses. I have $100 for tithe that we're going to do this paycheck period. I have $312.24 for AT&T. I'm going to get my highlighters here, and I'm going to highlight what bills actually go to the credit card. So we have our AT&T bill go to the credit card, and we have my husband's bill go to the credit card, my storage go to the credit card, and then these, I think I'm only going to only go twice to Dr. Odell for the second half of the month instead of 3 times. I've been doing it every Monday, but I think I'm going to skip a week just to bring the cost down and give us a little wiggle room because we have a wedding to go to, and that extra $45 could help. And I think 4 times in a month is good. So we should be okay there. Okay, next we have our sinking funds. That is $404.01. I have my sinking funds video set up, so if you want to go take a look at that and see how that divides between, I think, about 16 different individual funds. I just put all of it in one savings account and leave it there, and then only use it when I need to. So that's what I have here. Life insurance 1 is for me, my husband, and one of my adult sons until he's 25. And that is $87.56. And then I have insurance out on my other son, which is $33.16. Electric this month, this is the actual bill, is $148.87, and that will be hopefully lower next month, right around $100, $120. But this is $20 less than last month, so that's pretty good. My husband's bill is $43.18, $2.99 for apple.com, which is my storage on my phone. In my home security system, that this is the monitoring side of all that, $65.82. Dr. Odell is $45, and another one for $45. If I can get in another one this month, I might. If I do, I'll put it over here. Not a problem. Or I can add it in over here. It's fine. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and take out the debt payment because I've already made a decision. When we get close to the end of the month and I'm closing out this budget around the 29th, or actually a few days before that, probably the 25th, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cash out a little over $100 in cash rewards, and that is going to go towards making a debt payment to the credit card, bringing my debt from $181.50 to $81.50 or thereabout. So that is the plan. So it doesn't come out of our budget. It's not money that we had to earn to pay for it. We're just using rewards to pay for it. And it's taken me a few months to get to this point, but you know, we got here. So I'm going to use it this month in September. Got water on my planner here, so it's smudged. Let's see, is there anything else I need to put on here that's not on here? I'm missing something. Oh, I see something. Amazon. And this is subscribe and save. And that's going to be $100. That's what I'm planning on. It might be a few dollars more, few dollars less depending on tax and what they charge, and I'll deal with that when it comes. They'll send me an email and let me know. So I have that, and that is good for that so far. And then over here, we'll get to that in just a second. So let's just go ahead and total up this column right here and see how much we have totaled here. All right, I am showing we have $1,387.83. I'm writing kind of crooked here, so I'm going to have to turn my notebook. I have a squeaky chair, so if I move around too much, it's all kinds of noises, and I can't edit them out. It's crazy. Okay, so for my spending categories, this is what I have available for the last 3 weeks of the month. Now that last week is a partial week. It only has 4 days in it. I'm budgeting $200 for groceries, household on that for the 4 days, and then the rest of it's like $329 or something every week for week 3 and week 4. So I think we're going to be okay grocery household wise, but we have $859.57 for grocery household. Restaurants are going to be $239.78. Did mention a wedding. We will probably have a little extra eating out on that. I don't know if we have enough for that. So I might have to count that separate somehow, which is why I kind of want to leave the $45 open. I don't know if it's going to be enough to cover, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see how I end up taking care of that. Miscellaneous, we have $99.15. If you saw my my weekly check-in for week 2, you would have seen I bought some Legos, and then I convinced my son to buy some Legos, and he gave me cash for it and all kinds of stuff. So a little Halloween kit. It was kind of cool. I love playing Charlie Brown, the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. And I saw this figure of a minifigure with a truck and a large jack-o'-lantern on the back. And I'm just, I'm so excited. It looks so cute. I'm going to put it on my Halloween table and pass out candy this year. Gasoline, $156.40. That should be enough for the rest of the month for normal driving as well as our trip to the wedding and back. And then copay, this should be enough, $68.59. And unbudgeted is always 0. So let's see how much we have here. All right, this is telling me I have $1,423.49 as far as how much is available for the last 3 weeks of the month. If you divide that by 3, roughly, it's $447 a week, or 474 a week, and I'm good with that. I think that's what we spent last week, if I'm not mistaken. That didn't include bills, it just included these categories. So I think we're on the right track and we should be okay. I do know miscellaneous, there is something I got my eye on. I've been helping my son clean out unpack all his Legos that we had packed for the move here 3 years ago. We moved here where we're at now 3 years ago, and we were unpacking them and then storing some of them and pulling out some of them. And one of them is the Lego Ninjago movie city set, and it was like 5,800 pieces, and we found them all. So, or at least all the bags for them. And so we are planning to get a little side table. It's like $30. Wooden table. We already have one upstairs where I want to put it. And we're getting a second one for the Ninjago City. And I'm excited to do that. I think that's where the money's going to come from, is that $99. So hopefully we don't go over budget for miscellaneous this month, but I do have plans to spend some of it on a table to hold the Legos. So we'll see. Check out my weekly check-ins. You'll see if I spend it or not. Pretty sure, I'm 99% positive I'm buying this thing. It's already sitting in my Amazon cart, so just waiting to be bought. And I'm excited for him to rebuild it and get it all put together. A lot of the pieces are still put together. We just need to get it displayed properly. We didn't even have it displayed properly last time, so I'm excited to do it this time. Now we need to go ahead and total what we have estimated at the end of the month. That's what we're doing. We'll see how close we get. Again, I originally had $3 $45 because there's 3 Mondays left still, and I go every Monday for an adjustment. It's helping me stay out of pain and keeping my body healthy and not have to take more pain medications on top of what I already take for neuropathy and stuff like that. So this is good maintenance for me. But I can always skip 1 week, and I think I'll do that. We'll have that $45 or just over $45 we probably will have left over at the end of the month estimated. I may or may not need to use it. We'll see. Let's take the income, which is $2,860.15, subtracting the bills, which are $1,387.83, and subtract the $1,423.49. There we go. So yes, if I didn't have that $45 in there, my total would be $383. But we're going to say $48.83. I like how that sounds better, and that gives me a little wiggle room for the eating out, for the travel day, and things like that, so I won't have to borrow from the other categories. I think that's what we're going to do, and it looks pretty good. So that is my Paycheck 2 setup, and I'm good to go. Okay, Paycheck 1 closed out. Paycheck 2 set up, and I'm ready for the rest of the month. And this feels so good to get done, and I don't have to think too much on it. I just keep going with my natural rhythms of how the bills come out and how these things come out. I will still keep an eye on this one and this one, even though I see the pending. Nothing should change. Nothing should go wrong. Should be okay. I think we'll be okay. So that's where we're at right now, and I feel good about it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing, blessed day. Bye.
As a young girl, it feels we're mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a